Whoop, 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 whoop. What have I gotten shortly? Good morning, y'all. Good morning. I hope you guys had a great holiday. As you get to it, Bitcoin went up to 123,000 before pulling back a little bit. Yeesh. Let me make this bigger so you guys can see. I mean, right now it looks like we came off of this 123. We're trying to pull back some. This is the 30-minute time frame. So we're gonna probably find support around this 120, 120 level right here. This is next like smaller support level, at least on this time frame. Yeah. I just don't get into new trades this early, especially like on a Monday. Kind of just like let everything settle down. Let me take a look at SPY. See, make this bigger. So yeah, I don't think that's really happening with SPY is like you see kind of this going on Friday. We kind of like drop down. Of course, we had like a little small gap down, and we're kind of like feeling that right now. Really just like letting everything just settle down. I'm waiting for the first 15 minutes to candle to close. What are you guys watching? Check out Netflix. Netflix like it's in this reversal. We're on three right now. It's like a little reversal pattern, but still not fully breaking out. I mean, in a full on reversal, yeah, it's kind of facing some rejection. You kind of see like we're right here where we wake off the first time. We're waking off the second time right here. So if we have to see this is around like 1260. We want to see a move on Netflix till we break past this 1260 area. After that, let me scroll out a little bit. Oh yeah. See, if we break above this 1260, we can hit start hitting a reversal on Netflix and run to like 1270. Yeah, 1270, then start targeting 1280, then towards like 1300 again. That's definitely something to pay attention to. It actually makes pretty easy sense because we got our three, which is like reversal candles when you go outside day on both sides, and then we get Steve right here. So another reversal candle on this downside. Do you have a failed two down? So the sign of reversal, and now we're going two up right now. So once we start to trigger above this 1260.75, you can enter in long here and start targeting this previous high. It's around 1290. That could be a good little scalp. You see this on the daily. Oh yes, we were inside day. I like to set up a little bit as a reversal play. Let me see something. It actually kind of lines up right where our trend line. Yeah, it's not about to be perfect, but let's give you guys an idea. So what I'm doing here, you can basically see where we kind of like bounce off this area a few times. Like this has been like an area of support on this trend line. But with this three right here, we end up breaking below it. And so now where we have now, it's like this is a two down, basically just showing that if we move down further. Sorry, we basically moved down further. Now we're kind of consolidating, but if we start to break above, like I was saying, that 1260 area, we can start to go back to test this trend line at the top of this trend line again and kind of move back up. So we end up like facing some resistance probably around like 1275 before heading up to 1290. See where this lines up at. Yeah, this lines up about like 1275. Actually kind of lines up with some of the support that we've seen right here. I'm gonna show you lines, but these are more like zones, honestly, on like these smaller time frames. But this is if we start to break back up to the upside. This is something to just watch though, because at the same time, if we break below like this level right here, like we start to break this low below 1240, of course we'll target the next low, which should be 1231. But below that, we'll start getting towards like 1200. If 1200 breaks, they'll start to seem like a breaking structure overall for Netflix, and that's when you start having like larger moves to the downside. But right now it's Monday, so things gonna be kind of slow. But it's just something to watch. So yeah, definitely watch. Put an alert probably for that alert for 1260 on Netflix to the upside if you want to play that. It's not financial advice, but it's something to pay attention to. Especially if we start to really pick up plus at 1300, you can really start to make our way back up towards like new highs. Okay, Bitcoin like it's just bouncing right off of this demand zone. You can see earlier I put this like this liquidity, it's like demand zone right here. It's basically showing like where buyers step in at. And you see we kind of bounce right off of it on this first 15 minutes. And this was about to close in 1 minute. Let me know if you guys have any questions. This is Meta. Let's see what's going on with them. Mm, okay, so Meta looks like we're having like a little bit of a double top situation, which is kind of a bearish setup. It's not fully done yet, which we'll really start to see though if we do have like a bearish, or I mean a double top setup. Where there's a double top, there's usually a double bottom. And when that you see like that double bottom, there's either one or two things are gonna happen. You're either gonna like see it start to rebound, or you're just going to completely break through that floor. And that floor typically looks like it's around it's right around 710, honestly. Around 710, 700. This is what I'll be looking for with Meta. It's like you see Missy guy here hit this. Let me see, I'm gonna do a pathway actually so you guys can see better. Get up here, reject, come back down here. Kind of just consolidate really. Rejecting that same area again. Now we're back down here. And we basically need to see if we're gonna hold support in this level or we're gonna break down further. And the next support is kind of like right at 700, Just like a good support for them.
Presented by BetterHelp. Workplace stress is now a leading cause of
Or we can
mental
end up
health
like
concerns,
reversing
with
and going
60%
back
of
up
the
here.
global
So
workforce
this is a good
unemployed.
area to pay attention to.
You can't escape work, but you can take
But
small
right
steps
now we're
to
looking
care
a
for
little bit
yourself.
bearish, but I'm not really too worried about it just because the market just is. This is cooling off a little bit after our nice little run up.
Mental resilience for whatever your day throws at you. Balance is tough. Getting help shouldn't be. Visit betterhelp.com/Spotify Music for
See
10%
what
off
else
your
is
first
going
month.
on.
When Mexican heritage
Check
meets
out
American
gold.
brew, refreshing takes a new form. Introducing Cruz Blanca, a line of Mexican American premium cervezas. Mexico calling Lager Special and lime and sea salt chelada are inspired by the vibrancy of Mexico, but reimagined here in the US. Whether you're on a patio with friends or cooking up an asado, Cruz Blanca is the perfect addition. It's cerveza, refreshed. Tap the banner to shop now. Celebrate responsibly. Copyright 2025 Cruz Blanca Brewery, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
That'll be 30 even.
That's 90 points! Sorry, that was a lot. Now that I'm getting 3 times the points on food and fuel with the Navy Federal More Rewards American Express card, I get a little too hyped sometimes.
Cool. Would you like your receipt?
In the
This is
bag!
Amazon right here.
In the
Ticker
bag.
symbol is AMZN.
Learn more about the everyday, everywhere Navy Federal More Rewards American Express card at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our
All right,
members
Amazon.
are
This is on the
trusted
weekly time
America's
frame. Oh, shit.
#1 bank.
Sorry. This is on the weekly time frame. What I'm looking at for here to trigger the week up, we need basically to break above 226.68. If we start to do that, we'll start to reach towards 230. But we have like this supply zone right now. We kind of need to break above. You can see as we get towards this zone, like the supply zone we step into, is where we kind of tap out at. And so we get to like 240. So Amazon, if you see us start to pick up, and we get to 230 and then pick up to kind of like push through 240, we really can start making a move. But if we tap out again right here, you kind of see some of that similar setup as what I was talking about before for double top. Go out to the daily. On this 4 hour time frame. Yeah, we're not seeing a real movement. And AMD, this is actually exactly what I was talking about. Like this whole double top. We have a lot of setups kind of showing that. That's what I'm talking about. We get into the same zone and then start to reverse. You know, we reversed a little bit, like off of the top right here. It hasn't broken this low of like this 140, 160. If you start breaking below this, we have a nice little gap to fill down. Looks like 139.50, so like a two, like almost like a $2 move. But really, I would probably after that, I probably start targeting like this 135 area. Give you guys a better idea. And then we break 135. I didn't see this too. We got another gap filled down to 130. So this can end up moving pretty quickly. Yeah, watch this on AMD. Really, if you start, yeah, if we start breaking below 140, 160, we'll head down to that 139 area, like this 139.40, 140 area. That's gonna be the real test, honestly, because that's like 140 is like a psychological number for a lot of people. It's kind of, come on, work. It's just what I'll be watching. So it's like boom, boom, boom. We get right here. Test is 140. The breaker is 140. That's when we start seeing that 135. If we start getting further down from 135, that's when it's like, all right, we're having like a real reversal at that point. And this is on the 4 hour time frame. Let's go to the daily. Go to the weekly. Yeah, so this area, this 140 area is pretty crucial for AMD. And this is all the way on the weekly, so I'm just gonna show you guys like so you see we all this is oh shit, hold on. This is like all the way back to 2023. We consolidated here, had like a descendant channel, we broke out, and you see in this area, we basically had to fight through this resistance around 140, found support before we start heading back up to the top of this channel, right, which is all the way up to like 230. Come back down, we touched the same area of support 140 several times, and it's kind of been a main point of direction as we broken down, kind of maintained it, consolidating, and then when you completely just lost it, that's when you see this further downtrend that we had that lasted for like what is this from November 2024 up until April 2025. And so now we're fighting with this same zone of 140. So for us to continue up in the more medium term, we have to hold this 140 because if not, if we start to break below 140, 130, or we start to break 140 and head towards like 130, and then further down, we can end up going back to retest the bottom of this channel, which is like at 100, like 105. I don't necessarily want to do that. As of now, we're still fine though, but it definitely has to just kind of this is where we're going to kind of pick a direction. And right now we're just still consolidating, so it's not like nothing too crazy. But we definitely formed like this little double top in this little zone right here. So definitely pay attention to that. Us maintaining this 140 area is pretty critical for AMD. Let me see what anything's happening. Let me pay attention to. Man, what's going on with Tesla? I see this report saying that Elon Musk was like against, I guess, some proposed merger that was talking about. They hit a 2 week high after Musk says do not support merger between Code and XAI. But like it's rejecting off of this though still. Like it bounced up and then now it's like rejecting. Yeah, let me step out and see what's up. I'm just drawing another trend line so you kind of can see what's happening. Off of 320. It's crazy because like with Tesla, that 318 or 320 mark has always just been like a battle. It never just like clearly breaks through it, and it always just like finds a support there. Let me show you what I mean by that. Now you can come all the way back here. I'm say all the way. It's like November. So when Tesla had like this like nice little gap up, everything like that, it comes back down. It's like always this 320 to 315 mark where it finds the support at, right? Same thing when it breaks down. Just like we have this big breakdown, we broke this 320 area. Of course, like 300, we completely just break down pretty terribly. So it's like 320 and like that 300 mark is just like a big psychological area for it. Kind of same thing right here. We see we kind of top out at this 300 area, gets this 320 mark, stuff gets a little shaky. That's when you see like the move up starts getting a little price a little resistance. Same thing. It kind of like never fully stays above this area. Like yeah, we have support right here, but like whenever we just start lingering around this 320 area, it always kind of drops below back towards 300. What I'd be looking for now with Tesla, I told I told one of my other like trader friends, I was like, bro, I'm not touching Tesla till yeah, this is Tesla. But I was like, I told one of my friends I'm not touching Tesla till we get back to 240. And that sounds crazy, but it's really not. I'm gonna show you why. Just with everything going on, I feel like if Elon can like kind of stay out of politics, Tesla would be fine. There's no reason we wouldn't be at like 500 plus, right? This is like assuming Elon stop saying crap, but and this like it's he's annoyed a lot of the
Every time
board.
she beats American Brew,
So a lot of people are always having talks about whether they're gonna like replace him in the long term or not.
a line of
Not
Mexican
that he's not a
American
good
premium
CEO. Like when
cervezas,
he's
Mexico
focused,
calling lager especial
Elon does
and sea
well
salt
with
chelada
like his
are inspired
projects.
by the
But
vibrant
when he
flavors
has
of
these
Mexico's
distractions,
Atlantic
it like
coast.
affects the stock too much,
Whether you're on a patio
and it's
or
not
on the
necessarily
beach,
about the
Mexican
fundamentals of
Brew
Tesla
is
itself.
the perfect cuisine.
So
Cerveza, refreshed. Tap the banner to
this
support the
is
cause
on
and
the
learn
weekly
more.
chart,
Copy
and this
code
is kind of where we're at right now.
American Brew
We're kind of consolidating, but we're showing weakness right here to where like we had this reversal right here, further movement down, some consolidation. We're kind of building up, but it's still like nothing significant.
Owning a car is expensive enough.
And
Car
so
insurance shouldn't cost a
what
fortune.
could happen though
Put the brakes on those
is
high
we could
prices
break
with
out
no commitment
here,
from Credit Karma. Simply open the app to
but
explore
I'm not fully sold on that yet. Shit.
the right coverage plan for you. Great
Let
insurance
me draw
and
something
low
out.
brakes. Start looking on Credit Karma today.
The McDonald's snack wrap is back. You brought it back. Ranch snack wrap. Spicy snack wrap. You broke the internet for a snack.
Okay, so
Snack wrap is
we
back.
had this, and we had this like this two down. It's basically just movement down.
You're all
This is
excited about
basically
the
the
track
colors I
day,
have. This kind of like just
but
tracks
first,
like price action. It's called the strat.
some water up
And
your
we get down
ass.
here, we bounce off this trend line, right?
Straight from
We
the
get
well.
right here,
Spring water, keeping it
we try to
refreshed.
move back up. We're still fighting, and we're starting to reject down. So it's like a fail two up. And so after that's happening, we're basically watching what's gonna occur. So we go all the way down to let's see, like to the bottom of this trend line. Like we continue down, it's gonna be right around 300. Once we start to break below this like 290 support level right here and fall down further, we'll start to head towards this 260 trend line, which is very much possible because we're still within like this wedge that we've been showing. Let me see if I can give you guys a better picture. It's just like boom, 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 boom. Like it's getting tighter, like the wedge, but it can very much end up going back down to retrace around this 260 area, which ends up like lining right up right here with this former resistance that we've had. And you can't see it on here. Let me see, I'll pull it up. See, but our 200 EMA is like right around 240, and so that's not nothing crazy. This will end up bringing us back around like this area. Let's see. But at that point, we'll start to break down in this channel. You guys see that okay? Hold on. All right. All right. So you see, like in this area, we've kind of like we held support down at the bottom of this zone, and then again we held support around the bottom of this zone. And so now with Tesla, like I was saying, if we continue to like show weakness right here and break down below this 300 area, we can quickly fall back down to like 260, which then will end up starting to fight with this whole 260, 250 area right here. If we get any weaker than that, which is like it's a good little support area, it's automatically just like 220s. I don't really feel like we're gonna go all the way down there, but this is like a very much an easy pattern that we can end up following. Just doom, doom, doom right here, end up touching 250, 260. And for me, if I'm gonna mess with Tesla at all, I want to get at a cheaper price around this 250 area because it's less risk. As far as dealing with that, let's see, take some of this off. But yeah, all I want to see from Tesla is just good production numbers. Us moving forward with the Optimus bots, and things will be good. Right now, this is the monthly chart. Right now, we're just pretty much just consolidating. Nothing too crazy is happening. But any catalyst that we can have can just send us back above, like back below 300, which will quickly send us back to 270, and then past that, of course, like 250, 260, what I was talking about. Now this is Netflix. It looks like we triggered that 1260 I was talking about on Netflix. So we're starting to hit this reversal. Still inside day. I mean, it's inside week. Let me check out IWM. I haven't checked that out in a while. IWM is still slowly consolidating. With this one, I would just look for IWM to like. I need to see it do something outside of just this 220 area. Like we either got to break below 219, 218, and you can start kind of going short with IWM. Start like targeting downside around. It's around 212 and then below. Or if we're gonna break up to the upside, because basically what I'll be looking for is like a break above or below this previous weekly candle right here. If we break to the upside, it's like above 226, which kind of like you see this 226, we lines up like a lot of resistance right here. Like 226 going into 230. That's a supply zone where you see people, basically where people are selling at. So yeah, what I need to see from IWM, a break above 226, it will really need to push towards this, push out of this 230, or is it going to serve as an area to short it at? So between 226 and 230, if we don't break out here, I just completely just like break through it, we're gonna kind of start showing more weakness and kind of just start to slowly just drift off. Yeah, that's pretty much all I'm looking at for as far as right now. I'm probably about to take a break because like, everything is kind of super slow and lagging. This would be a good day to like play some spreads, honestly. And you can kind of just like catch that theta. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back later on sometime. Please follow me if you want to see me go live. I also answer any question you guys have. But yeah, appreciate it. You have a good one.